I mean, close match for the first one. Surely this is going to be a pretty good game here.
Yeah, this should be excellent. Remember, I mean, the way I look at Vertigo, how it went, NIP really let Vitality off the hook. When you have that kind of a lead with that kind of an economic advantage and you let them right back into the game, that can't happen. So for NIP, you're in a very uncomfortable spot for such a good start in the first map. And here we go, fast-paced, doors blown open. Nuke is going to challenge, and he's going to try and perhaps find a gap around that smoke, but here comes a delayed flashbang to let this execute come to fruition.
Oh, they're trying to get down. Oh no, they get tapped away. Lecro, beautiful shots. They just wanted to get down the vents, and they got shot in the back of the head instead. Alex is trying to creep out a bit late with the Glock to take the fight. It's going to have to take a miracle to get them back in the round. That's a mid-air headshot from Alex. The last bullet as well. That's a nice style to throw out, but it's not really going to matter.
No, it's not going to matter at all. I don't know how often it's going to work that the timing is just perfect for Lecro. Someone in that position to just tap away. Not even really aiming, you're just hoping they walk into the bullets, and surely that grenade is going to finish him off if the USP didn't. 1-0 for the Ninjas.
He just threw them down like that was one of those garbage shoots. He was just
like dirty laundry.
Yeah, throwing down the trash to say, you know, go down there already. That is, well, it's going to be an interesting highlight, isn't it? He can't even see anything, can he? It is cheating. He's just clicking.
Yeah, the flames in his face and everything. Yeah, this was I mean, the first 18 bullets weren't great.
Yeah, not quite the last bullet, but still, that was cool. Didn't matter in the end, but it was cool.
Not at all. Full investment from Vitality without a plant. P250s, Deagle on Zywoo, CZ on Alex. They've made their way downstairs, so I mean, when you get this much control on this kind of a round, if you're Vitality, that starts to feel a little bit better. NIP is going to be under some pressure, needs to be a trade, and it's there.
It's dangerous for Twist. He could have gone down already. It's a pretty decent grenade. The Molotov will force him right into the fight, and he'll just keep cleaning up. Huge double kill for Twist, and actually jumping down, it's going to be shocked with a mid-air headshot. That looked like Nuke should have won that fight every single time. And now RPK.
Oh, no.
I don't think they know. Lecro has no idea. RPK has no idea. What a confusing turn in this round.
Unfortunately, I don't think RPK has any way to really get involved in the action. Shox has picked up the bomb, and he's got to just kind of hide and let his teammate clear things out, but there's not going to be anyone close for RPK to just get a freebie with that kind of a positioning, that kind of a play across the map. So just patience for both teams. Still a big advantage to NIP. They have a kit on res, they've got utility. For Vitality, it's just about getting this bomb planted.
They're actually going to double up and try and see if they could push out. They really want to find that last player, and Rez has fallen all the way back, which seems like such a smart choice. Look at how he would have been flanked if he'd have stuck around. He would have been shot in the back, I think. 30 seconds now.
I think the nervousness is that Vitality doesn't have the utility to block off the doors, block off the window. They just kind of have to go for this plant. And fortunately for them, no one from NIP is in position to stop it. That is a nice kill from Rez, brought down very low.
Yeah, they picked up the FAMAS as well, so they really could do a lot of damage. Shock is now flanking around. They have a smoke and a kit on Rez. Now, the problem is that kit, he can't really drop that over, and he's got 10 health left, so this could get really, really awkward if he ends up defusing inside of the smoke. Now, flanking around. Nice tapping from Shox. He should be winning this fight. Oh, it's taking a little bit longer than you want, and now it's getting awkward. He's just thinking about it here. They're both low on health, but so is he. Hasn't even got a chance to reload, I think, and he's just going to try and see if he could shoulder peek it out, and he gets dropped immediately. They win the round anyway, NIP, but down to the thinnest of margins.
Oh, I cannot believe he didn't win that fight. That would have been the round right there. Rez didn't have the HP to get any kind of a battle with the defuse looming as well. An opportunity in a 1 versus 2 for Shox, and cannot come out on top. 2-0 for NIP. But that's a plant for Vitality, which allows them to buy rifles in this next round, even after the second round investment. It's a lot of economy taken away from the Ninjas as well. Right on the edge of a reset already in round 3.
Yeah, that's a powerful round. And again, you mentioned it, how quickly they got down there from just smoking the yard and running straight ahead. And they're putting a lot of speed behind this one as well. RPK going to be surfing right down into Mini, and already this A bomb site could be compromised a lot. Kill on Lecro, but the return is there for Rez, and he's now down on the hot with the FAMAS and Twist helping out. And this defense is looking pretty good all of a sudden. Saibu, the last one left, and he's going to take a dive into the vent with the bomb and a smoke, and still a chance for this 1 versus 2 to work out in his favor.
Yeah, just going to go straight for the plant, not even worrying about where he's going to put that smoke. The question is, where does he go from here? Surely he's heard the footsteps of dropping down the vent as Nuke and Twist go for a SWAT team retake.
Smoke does nothing up there at all. He goes for the fight, and Nuke will go down. Now Twist coming in from the same angle, and Saibu will win it, a quad kill. They put on the pressure round after round. Look at Apex, he can hardly believe it. but they end up winning the round. It all pays out at the end.
And that was a gorgeous final headshot for ZywOo. Big 1 versus 2 clutch. He had a couple near clutches in the first map. This one he completes, and it couldn't come at a better time because, you know, as we mentioned, that's NIP on the economic edge, and he's just pushed them over. Right off of it. They cannot afford any kind of a strong buy. Pistols and the scout on Nuke.
Yeah, that's a hard way to get started. NIP, they were struggling. As you said, they sort of let Vitality back in the game in that first half on map 1. And suddenly, you know, they're off to an even worse start here with NIP. And especially if you look at the economy. Vitality had a terrible start on Vertigo, but they still stuck around and ended up winning that map. If you're NIP, you don't want to see them have a hot start here, especially ZywOo.
Yeah, definitely not a player you want to see get heated up. Plopsky's the only one for NIP watching Secret down the stairs. Far back with the CZ. No one challenging quite yet, but Shocks, who's normally more of a kind of turned into like a passive lurking for Vitality on their T sides. If he decides to get aggressive, he'll be able to spot that out, but leaves the other 4 players to guard everything else. 2 players camped out in upper, actually, excuse me, I should say 3. Rez, Lekro, and Twist.
And they're taking it real slow. They just, I mean, they don't have to be under a lot of pressure here. Molotov forces Lekro to make the jump on over. Surely that would have been heard. No, I think they didn't hear it, and that actually nets him a kill. That's really interesting. Coming to the smoke, though, as they clean up most of the defense on this A side. Rez has also been hurt. Still lands an amazing headshot with that deagle. That's really well done. ZywOo, though, in a good position, and they should not be close to winning this round in IP. 2 versus 3 as the bomb goes down, and they are lacking in pretty much everything at this point in time.
And the scout, it's not going to do anything. Tagged onto Apex, might complete the kill, but no chance of making it into the site. And now you might want to consider just falling back, falling away, bring the scout into the next round. Unfortunately for NIP, the stack at the upper bomb site, a decent idea, but when Lekro's forced off that roof, all the crossfires collapse. 2-2, we're all tied up, and Vitality have all the advantages.
They do have a, you know, just a much better start on Nuke, which could be very T-sided. I mean, I kind of like the style that Vitality were playing. We were talking about this on Vertigo, how a lot of the time they wouldn't try and signal too heavily that they were coming. They would just sort of, you know, set up on a bomb site. They would have Apex, you know, taking that A ramp a lot of the time. I love the idea of a more aggressive Vitality as opposed to sort of a more passive and hesitant one. A little bit of a team kill, but still, they at least get the creek. Could maybe do some damage with that. I think French Counter-Strike is meant to be crazy.
I think that's what they've been doing wrong this whole time. They've been trying to make it logical.
Yeah, they thought maybe we should go back to sanity.
Yeah, maybe we should play like Danish Counter-Strike.
And that was the wrong move. They shouldn't be.
Keep the craziness.
I mean, the meme way back in the day, like around 2013, 14.
Rolling back the years?
Yeah, was that, you know, pretty much once you encounter the first French player, that's when the attack started. It never stopped. You know, they just didn't stop basically moving forward. It was just, it was exciting, you know.
Yeah, it very much was like, you hit the go button and everything. It's either you're gonna win or lose on that.
Yeah. And to a surprising extent, it was really hard for people to slow them down. Like, you knew it was coming and still you were like, but it's so quick. I can't believe that they're already all here, you know. None of them are slowing down. The Kree gets lost at the end. So 3-2. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Just a little bit more.
Well, hey, and they got a lead now, playing a little bit more slow and measured, at least in these first 5 rounds. So fair play to them. And they've got actually, I mean, if Vertigo is the map where they struggled to get money in their favor, they're doing fine on Nuke. Everyone's got cash.
Yeah, they have a lot of it.
They've got cash, they've got rifles, they've got nades. Things are going good for the French side. Lekro's dropped into the upper bomb site. Rez in the rafters. And again, slow and cautious. This time, Vitality want to exert some kind of outside presence. Apex, ZywOo, and Shocks all there. Alex lining up smokes or just staring at the wall and chatting.
Yeah, having a conversation. I mean, now's maybe not the time for it. There is a clock ticking. But yeah, he's certainly thinking about it all the way back there. Looks like it's going to be more of a yard kind of a setup. He's got the AWP, so Not sure what role that's going to play here, especially if they're going to be throwing smokes. It seems like, you know, he's not going to be picking off that many people from out here. It looks like the smokes are going to go even further back than normal, so that could be interesting. More towards Mini and Garage. A minute on the clock, yeah, so they're going to have space to use that orb if they really want it. Twist. Oh, he's in a dangerous position out here. With the orc. I can't believe that Apex actually wins that one. What a ridiculous flick.
Yeah, that's going to be stressful, and another one right through the smoke for no good reason. ZywOo's going to build on it, and here's your crazy French Counter-Strike. It's arrived. It makes no sense. It's not logical, and Apex has got 2 entries for his team. I think Lekro just needs to back out of this site. You can challenge it, but if you miss the timing, which he's already done, eyes are going to be on this position all day long. Back away, you and Nuke, and live to fight for the next round.
I really like the style of Counter-Strike that Apex is playing in some of these rounds. We talked about it a fair bit on that, yeah.
Lekro is just like, here, I'll break my leg, just so you know exactly where I'm at. I'm the limping gazelle of the herd.
Taking all the attention away. Hopefully Nuke can, you know, the sacrifices work. But we talked about Apex playing that style over on the, he's still fighting, even though he's got 8 health. He's still leading the charge. I feel like he just is the crazy bulldog of this team. Like once you take him off that leash and just tell him like, that way, Apex, go that way. He's gonna do it.
It's been his style forever, right?
Yeah, it really has been.
He's, I think, the last like pure entry fraggers that we had from over the different generations and the different metas.
Like maybe they've done brain surgery on him, and they like whatever fear center other people have.
So they've turned him into like a little bit of a Frankenstein Counter-Strike player.
I think that makes sense because just naturally, if you tell me like, you know, just we're gonna flash you through the smoke into the B bomb side, you're the first person through, and you know, cross your fingers, best of luck, you get to do it, and you get to do it every time. You're just the guy to, or you know, you have to try and take some position all alone, and we're somewhere else. There's gonna be some hesitation in your mind. You'll be like, does it really seem like a good idea? And Apex has none of it. It's like, all right, guys, we're doing that. Cool.
They removed the fear center and
the logic center
and the just any decision making. You're like, as soon as I tell you something, you are going to do it.
Yeah.
You cannot
commit.
Argue.
There's a power in that I think is interesting.
You think they have a word that activates him?
Yeah.
Like right before the game, they like say pineapple, and he just turns into this mindless fragger.
Manchurian candidate. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Maybe they've done it through hypnosis, brain surgery. We don't know. We'll find out.
Check for scars. Shox is all alone at the red box outside. He hasn't seen anything. He could be under some pressure pretty soon, though, with these 2 players if they progress up the staircase, which it doesn't look like they will. But Twist outside could be... Ooh, he's dead. He's real dead.
He made it difficult. He was jumping. Just trying to give him a challenge.
I'm not gonna lie. I did expect Shox to get that kill much quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it is Shox, right? There is... I really can't wait for some of the matches that are going to be happening. I mean, later down the bracket, even these early ones are really, really good. Obviously, we would have FaZe and Na'Vi later on, and map 1 of this was exciting. But I would love to see a game where it's sort of ZywOo and RPK maybe leading most of it, but then you know, towards the end of like a tough game, Shox decides, you know, it's time for the ultimate return. Like there's a story out there somewhere where that happens. One of the many universes where that's the
rejuvenated Shox.
Yeah.
Wins a 1 versus 3 to take the IEM Katowice trophy.
Something like that. Just, you know, if we keep saying it, maybe it will happen. I'm getting worried though. 25 seconds. They're all around this A bomb site. They should be able to just set themselves up, but a headshot will shut down ZywOo, and they get in anyway through Mini, and that's good news. They should be able to clear it up, no problem here. A little bit of an escape. The bomb's surely going to be planted any second now. RPK on it. Actually, not even going to get the chance, but I'm still going to say that's too little time.
You don't like those late clock rundowns on the anti-ecos. They make you nervous.
They do. I confess. There was like 3, almost 4 people around that A-bomb site for the defense, and it starts with a headshot from Plopsky. What if the second one, you know?
And then it all just now spins out of control.
Yeah, don't do it.
All rifles now for all 10 players. Nuke with an AWP. Alex still with his on the T side. And no one outside here. This is going to be fast-paced towards the upper bomb, so they want to try and make it in. They're going to get slaughtered. Lekro's already on the lower ground. They're running through explosions and fire, and Nuke's going to take another one. RPK just has to back out. Now, all this attention has left ramp exposed, but Plopsky was pushed the whole time. the whole time.
The whole entire time. And he got that kill, no problem. RPK gets blown up. Another one for Plopsky. And the flick is not going to come through this time for Alex. A nice triple kill for Plopsky. He was playing solo B much of the time on Vertigo, and he's playing ramp in this one. So I guess we know...
Yeah,
that's a reflection of what the team thinks.
And obviously the trust in him to play in those are tough positions. Not only in terms of the battles you have to take, but also the decision making is a big deal.
You have to be a real teammate because everyone else goes, I really don't want to play ramp on you.
That's it's funny because in the old versions of Counter-Strike of like 1.6, ramp was like the place to be.
Yeah,
everyone wanted to play ramp. Now no one wants to touch it. Plopsky. I will say that's a bold call from Vitality as well, going for the upper rush in the middle of a half when your opponent is going to have all the economy, all the nades and the Molotovs. You could see the result of it. It just gets shut down. Opening kill for Lekro. They have no idea, but Nuke has missed his chance.
Yeah, he had a bit of an opportunity. Cyber will get one in return. Lekro getting flanked from Shox. That's a nice kill with the AK. And Alex there to make sure they weren't going to be flanking it. That's a really heads-up play. And just like that, NIP, in spite of getting the opening and even getting another kill in the meantime on Apex, they still are not able to defend this. And yeah, they're hunting for him. They want it, and they should be able to get this AWP. He is really in a lot of trouble here. Not going to get that flick. Alex will take him down.
Now, in contrast, that's a really cool adjustment. I felt like Vitality just made the same call over. Like, Alex just was like, we're going to do the same thing. But this time, just delay it like 5-6 seconds. Just wait for that utility, that initial barrage of nades, the initial barrage of Molotovs. It was like that first one was a test run just to see what kind of nades they're going to put out. And then he just changed things up to counter it. That's also a phenomenal spin from ZywOo to get that trade kill, which otherwise could have been a disaster. But equally, the NIP side, I like that aggression. I like the aggression towards ramp room. You have a bait and switch, you get the op in position, and Nuke, that's a shot that he's going to tell himself he should have hit.
He's up here. They're actually all around. If his teammate goes down to the other side of the smoke, he's already bailing. He says, you know what? I'm not going to have any chance to cover that wide of a range. If you're up on that little roof, you want the fight long range, not when they're running down. And speaking of down, they actually do all make it. So that's really interesting. A lot of damage on Shox and Apex, but can the defense switch out here? They had a lot of people in that yard and upper bomb site. So Plopsky's down here with the MP9. And again, put to the test. I feel like he's playing all of the most despicable positions. You know what I mean, Jason?
Yes, I do know what you mean. Plopsky still waiting. Flashbang utility, he's dodged it all. An easy kill as Shox doesn't check the corner, and he's gotten away. That's a despicable, nasty position, and he does it just so damn well.
He deserves all the credit. I think Plopsky's been playing a great
series.
Yeah, so far it's really high level. RPK in a 1 versus 4 and a chance for NIP to get a little bit back in the first half. Again, saving the rifles all matters at this point in time, and they're going to be able to do it. Just to follow up on what you were saying about them pushing aggressively towards that lobby area, what I really like about that too is that, you know, I've been complaining for such a long time about Swedish Counter-Strike being too Swedish, basically. And part of the reason why that is...
Spoken like a true Dane.
Exactly, yeah, some old vendetta there. But basically, I want them to do those kind of things.
Okay, like the more aggression, not just like the cookie-cutter Counter-Strike.
Exactly, you know, because they are good. They're obviously super high-skilled individually, but you need that little bit of a punch to, you know, throw the opponents a little bit off guard, make sure they don't know what's coming every single time. And even if it didn't actually work out that round, I still like it. I want to see it every once in a while. Just throw in a couple of rounds where you're the ones taking charge. And I mean, this round they had Nuke up on the... I was
going to say, they've done it 2 rounds in a row. First towards the ramp room, this time the heavy aggression towards outside. And even though the outside aggression didn't pan out, they were still able to kind of rotate and win the round. They had, even if you don't get the kills from it, right? They had the call. They're going fast-paced outside. Here's the wall of smokes. We've spotted 3. Like, everyone rotate downstairs. Allowed Plopsky to get into the perfect position.
And it's actually something they didn't do much on the CT side of Vertigo. They were very passive, very far back, and Vitality had the whole map to themselves. So, yeah, let's hope that NIP keep that up. Again, it doesn't have to be every single time, but, yeah, throw in a couple of rounds where they don't get to dictate the pace of it. Twist. Not going to be challenging. I don't blame him. And Vitality are waiting around. They do have enough weapons to make this dangerous, but they only have 1 smoke.
Nuke's playing ramp room very passively. I think it might just because Plopsky went straight downstairs right at the start of this round, so he's already got it covered. So, I mean, Nuke doesn't need to be in a position where he can fall down ramp and guard that lower bomb site.
Yeah.
They can send Lekro down the vents if need be, but this is much more geared towards the upper site. Now, it does leave outside relatively weakened. which is where a main point of this attack is going to initiate from. Apex on the roof, 3 players about to turn the corner, and all the utility, all the nades. Nuke wants nothing to do with it. Just a tag from above by Twist, but now Plopsky's put into play.
I'm so confused as well. That was the one smoke that they just used for Mini, which means they're not going to have a smoke to try and get the bomb plant down. The grenade, just as it fades, that's an amazing grenade. And Plopsky, again, outputting so much damage in these rounds. Going to be falling back to play it safe with 30 seconds left, and that's a good idea. Now trying to play a bit of an anti-flash position. They're going to be talking right up, and he saw that coming. He is just such a smart player. Now it's a 5 versus 3, and again, 20 seconds here. And Vitality, they had that one smoke that they just used to get past Mini, which means any kind of a bomb plant at any bomb site here is going to be tricky. They try and get out, and Lekro will not let them. Nice round out of NIP, 5-6, and again, really good round out of Plopsky here.
Yeah, he played that so perfectly. 3 of the last 4 go to NIP, and 2 in a row now for the Ninjas on defense. Starting to build into this, starting to go on a bit of a run, and building up some cash flow. Plopsky, I mean, you mentioned it, he had a great vertigo as well. He was leading the server for the majority of the time until Nuke kind of took that away from him, but he's playing stellar for being in some tough spots. 5-6. Still in the favor of Vitality, and they're relegated back to Glocks and P250s and nothing impressive.
Ooh, my God. Ears are ringing. Twist just continuing outside, and this should be a fairly easy cleanup kind of round. I mean, this 6-6, that's pretty decent for both teams. That doesn't say anything about who's actually going to be winning the map here. I just like the fact that we're seeing more flavor out of the NIP side right now. A little bit more personality and a little bit more confidence and
assertiveness. And
they should have that confidence.
Yeah.
Again, if you just think about the firepower that's on this team, it is actually really strong. If you just think about how they're able to take fights and win them. So,
especially when you have like a deep into the roster, like the questions, you know, the guys like Plopsky and Nuke, are they still going to be able to deliver on, you know, here at IEM Katowice? And the answer that we've had so far today is yes. So now you want your veterans also to be getting in there. Someone like Twist, who's incredibly skilled. Lekro and Rez, who we've seen a number of times have some dominant performances. You're starting to see it build up on Nuke. Another round though. Round 13, Vitality full of rifles, limited on nades. They've got to be careful how they use these. You mentioned the previous gun round, they ran out of that, and therefore couldn't really make any attack be effective. Opening kill for the Vitality side, and a second one as well from RPK. So 5-on-3, full control of Yard. Now, the fact that you don't have a lot of utility, it doesn't matter nearly as much.
It absolutely helps out. I think they even stole another smoke or something on the ground there, so that's interesting. Nuke will get a kill on the AWP, and he'll immediately fall back. Does not want to take any kind of a close range fight. They're already down the ramp.
Well, they're already, I mean, Alex is the real position here. He's going to be telling everyone, like, this attack doesn't even need to be happening, because Alex can just say, wait, I can backstab everyone. If everyone gets back in a position to attack the upper bomb site, I have the checkmate spot.
Nuke with one more kill as they're waiting. They finally take him down. RPK comes in and cleans up on Lekro. And that's a 2-on-1. Plopsky through the smoke, actually a 1-on-3, sorry. Still, Saibu barely left from earlier on 4 health. I don't know. That's almost impossible. Like, look from our point of view, like if he could have got that shot with the smoke, it would have made a difference, but
that was the kill he needed. Zaiwu overexposed, throwing the Molotov. If he was there maybe a half second earlier, he could have picked that off and turned it into a 1-on-2. That would have been the opportunity to win the clutch.
Still, I guess that round fell apart much earlier than the 1 versus 3. Nice triple from RPK. And Vitality with the lead right after being equalized. And this is pretty good. Just quick.
It's great kills from RPK. Those are huge frags to get. I thought Alex was going to have the most impact. It's the danger of losing control of Yard that early if you're NIP. When they take it over, like someone getting up into that ladder with over a minute left in the round, you just don't have the manpower to watch everything.
Yeah.
I think that's why we started to see the AWP get aggressive towards vents. You just have to push out of that bomb site. You either have to push in towards hut, push in towards squeaky door, or just kind of get in that cover right by squeaky door for outside the way he did. There's just no options to really guard behind you as well. Puts the defense in an awkward spot. 7-6, Vitality still with the 1-round lead.
Yeah, so keeping a slight edge here in the first half, which is again fine. We're getting into a position now in the score where either way it should be a pretty interesting match come the second half. Not really much is decided just yet. The economy for NIP is such that, even losing that round, they're still at the buy. Twist has got nearly 10,000. He's not bought yet, but when he does, even then he'll have a little bit left. So That's kind of a cool position for NIP to be in, and that's because of that 3-round run that they took. Helps them out a fair bit.
Yeah, and in those 3 rounds that they won in a row, they only lost 1 player across all 3 rounds.
Wow.
So a lot of cash building up during that stretch. Puts them in a good position for these last 2 rounds, around 14 and 15 of this first half. So a little bit of a quick pause, and we're going to get back into the action now as freeze time kicks in.
Yeah, and, you know, even if Vitality were to take the last 2, 9-6, it's not great for NIP, but I still think it's pretty competitive at that point in time. Obviously, a bit more pressure on the Swedish Ninjas as they did lose map number 1.
Swedish Ninjas.
Swedish Ninjas, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Does it not? I don't know. I don't think, maybe not. I don't think there's
You
ever
guys get a lot of ninjas up there in Scandinavia?
Not really. I don't think.
Doesn't seem like the weather for ninjas.
No. Certainly with the with the style of dress and everything, it's going to get cold outside. Also, I don't think we ever had any kind of sort of real martial arts.
No, you guys just had big axes and stuff.
Big axes, big people. I think it was one of those things, yeah. Less artful, just more fighting.
Yeah, more brawn than brain.
That's gone away with the Swedish team, though. That's what I'm saying. Get back to some of that.
Okay, back to the ninjas.
Yeah. Well, 14th round here. 11 kills on Shocks. So surprisingly, on top of the scoreboard.
Pretty decently spread affair as well between these 2 teams. No one lightened it up the way we had on Vertigo, where Plopsky was really carrying through the early stretches. Nuke picked it up towards the end. Zaiwu for Vitality here. Both teams, everyone's putting in a decent effort. Game as close as can be. 1 round separating both. And again, no presence outside. This is a much more slow and calculated round from Vitality.
Yeah, they want to hit that ramp room, and they haven't actually tried to do that for real yet. So it could get interesting to see if they are going to be able to do it against Plopsky, who again, holding some really tough positions and coming out, I think, ahead in a lot of them.
I think they're going to be using some nades towards the upper bomb site, see if Plopsky shifts out of this position. He hasn't done yet. He hasn't budged. He's still watching a very narrow gap. Where's the go sign for Vitality? And how does Plopsky respond? He spotted 2. Good kill from Nuke, and I think Plopsky surely just going to fall away. He's put the Molotov out. He doesn't have a teammate here. He's still sticking around. Nuke has a very shallow angle. That leaves it all on Plopsky, and he gets both. Apex and Shocks fall to their doom. Zaiwu and Alex left in a 2-on-4.
What a position to win. It looked like they were about to basically flank him as he was still on the ramp, and he actually saw it coming. He saw the jump down. Zaiwu and Alex, 2 versus 4 at the moment, but Plopsky's an absolute hero once again. He's really played an amazing game. If this goes to map number 3, a lot of it is going to be on the back of Plopsky at the moment. Alex in a 1 versus 4 now, and a chance for NIP not just to win the round, but again, to build an economy. Some of the, like you said, the last 3 rounds that they won, they only lost 1 player. It could be something similar here unless Alex can could do a lot of it. And we're going to the 15th round, so it's just all going to help them. Alex down here. And oh! Well,
oh no.
We wanted more personality and style out of the Swedish Counter-Strike players, and we just got it.
Yeah, but it's at the expense of the French.
I know, but we can't win all the time.
Can't all be winners. Yeah, that's that one hurts for Alex. That's like it's rubbing some salt in the wounds.
It's great.
I bet he teabagged him afterwards too.
No, he's Swedish.
That's the kind of kill you get where you teabag someone.
Yeah, you have to. It's mandatory.
It's required.
7-7, 15th round coming up. We've got Twist just gliding into that battle, and now they're going to try and see if they can make their way down. They do get down, but Shocks took 1 for the team. They're just going to try and speed this up and see if they can throw them for a loop. They have almost no economy, so it makes sense. But they have Zaiwu still with the Deagle to take down Plopsky. A huge fight to be winning. That allows for the bomb plant without much interruption. Twist getting shot in the back. He spins and taps and almost winning the fight. He will. And finally, he's going to be going down. That is still pretty good. He could have died immediately there. A 3-on-3.
This is a long time that NIP has had their attention outside. Meanwhile, the bomb is ticking away down lower, just at about the halfway point. Lekro's going to have to lead the way in the retake. And look at RPK close up the nade to distract him a little bit. Lekro going to clear to the right, low HP, and he's got it.
For the immediate return. Alex now smoked off, but there is a flashbang here, and Zaiwu setting it up. Time is running out. Another kill for Zaiwu, and Vitality stealing around with pure speed once again at the end of the half. 8-7 in their favor.
Much like the first map, we go into halftime. The score is as close as possible between these 2 teams. We'll see. Can Vitality close out this series? We'll find out after the break.
get back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said, oh, I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said, oh, I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. Then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said, oh, I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said, oh, dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
For an exciting game. Jason, are you ready for it? It is 8-7 in favor of Vitality. Second map here at Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice, and I mean, it is dead even once again.
Dead even, as close as it can get at halftime. Yeah, I mean, this is perfect between these two teams. A lot of back and forth, a lot of teams grabbing advantages, and then it just been ripped out of their hands just a round or two later. So this has been a very, very cool battle between the two squads. Plopsky, I think, was impressive for both of us. And again, fast pace towards the upper bomb site. Plopsky's going to be leading. He's also going to be getting his head ripped off by Zywoo and Alex. They combine for 3 quick kills.
Yeah, Sai was still going after the fact, and now it's a 2-on-1 with Twist down on the low ground. He really, really wants another weapon or anything. That smoke, actually, and he picks up the bomb. He's trying to escape. He wanted to play clever there, but Shox will catch him, and close kind of around, but what a start from Vitality. Alex and Zywoo in there, shutting it down.
Those were important. That rush felt like, I mean, especially when the kill doesn't come out immediately, you feel like it's going to have some strength, that it's going to have actually some real power to it. But Zywoo, just those 2 kills. Alex, he was lying in wait the whole time. It was done perfectly. It even takes a little bit for Twist to find Alex at the end. That's a pistol round for Vitality.
I wonder if that was one of those rounds, and they do happen a lot on Nuke in this kind of an environment where, you know, there's one flashbang that comes through the ceiling, and that flashbang is either gonna blind the defense or it's not. You know, there's sort of a binary choice there. And then when it doesn't, you're just, you know, walking into that kind of a slaughter. And if it does work out, it just looks very different. So very often I feel like those ceiling flashbangs on this particular map are, you know, kind of a little bit of a lottery to be in. Well, now
it's just quiet. Everyone's just kind of waiting. Alex looking for some information. There's a good trade from Nuke, and now Alex, that's an awkward range for the UMP, but he's handling it pretty well, and again, unarmored opponent, so shouldn't be any danger. He's got plenty of utility to stall this out. Ooh, and just tap, 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 -a.
And he's once more. Thought maybe he'd back out, but
doing the old Happy Gilmore.
He's he's loving it. 3 kills for the UMP is not bad at all. Getting the money on board. 10-7. It feels like the French are doing it again. Running away, at least trying to run away with the game.
They have a real good chance here too. I mean, they had that 5-round stretch at the beginning of the first half that put them on a really nice trajectory to get their 8 rounds of the first half. So it's looking pretty good for them. 3 in a row now, going back to the final round of the first half, and they're going to have plenty of money. Zaiwu on the AWP. We've got Kriegs out for the NIP side, lacking in utility, which could be dangerous against that all.
Right. Huh. Just needed that. He's missing every single shot, and Plopsky will finally put an end to it.
What did he sell his soul for like a really nice 2019? Now the Devils come for his due.
That could be one of those monkey claw type situations.
I mean, he missed. Listen, it's a joke. I'm not trying to be too harsh on those misses, but I mean, he had a couple on Vertigo as well that made you scratch your head. Like, he normally hits those. Yeah,
and we were talking about how that maybe that's fine because he was pretty good with the rifle. So might be seeing a slight bit more evidence that today's just not really the AWP day for Zaiwu that we're so used to.
He's mortal.
Yeah, after all,
he can bleed.
Well, now is the time to kill him then, because if he gets back to the other style, it's rough. Nice flashbang setup. Apex and Alex combining for an easy kill there. And that puts it right back in a 4-on-4 with still 40 seconds on the clock, which is a little bit concerning. Twister's got the bomb picked up at the moment and looking to bring it through Mini. He's also alone with the bomb out there, so if he doesn't win the first fight, suddenly it's really weird. I think a little bit of a grenade to slow him down, and he's going to make his way in at least. Gets caught in the middle of, and now from Squeak instead, it's a 1-on-1. Shox with a double kill, Plopsky with a double of his own, and 20 seconds on the clock. The bomb has been picked up, and Shox wide swing to win the fight with a triple and a nice clutch there. Very little time left, and again, I don't know if that was the one deciding factor, but bringing the bomb in alone through Mini, that scares me.
Well, I think it was also just an awkwardness of where the defense was positioned. They're not in really any too standard of spots, so it's very hard to read where the next fight is going to be taking place, and Vitality just able to whittle them down as they tried to gain entry. Plopsky even had a perfect read of where Shox was going to take that peak.
Yeah, he knew.
And he just wasn't able to win the fight. So, I mean, this fighting in towards door as you go in, that's a new angle that's really tough to clear out as you bring the bomb in. You're exactly right. And the time running down as well, you start to feel the pressure. 11-7 in the favor of Vitality. They're extending their lead in a nice way. And Zaiwu with a rifle.
He's back. That's good. Don't want to be taking any more risks here. Grenade. I mean, it's going to land right on top of Nuke, but the rest got by just fine. We've got a Tech 9 on Lekro, which is amazing. Don't get to see them.
Site.
Yeah, nearly enough. And yeah, he just won it. Going to be backing up here, though. Apex. Oh! Lekro, that is a stolen M4, and they get another one. NIP still with some life left in them.
Yeah, this is a great round from Lekro. The first kill with the Tech 9, and then that immediate headshot from Dark. I think actually Vitality, the call should be to save here.
Yeah.
I don't think you go for this. Keep them boxed in. Make sure they can't take these two M4s out. Just gain like the advantaged angles, but don't risk your own weaponry. You don't have the economy for this. Only Shox has 2,400. One kill from Zaiwu, but he has no idea one is wrapping around behind him. That's going to take the weapon away at the end. They lose it all. 11-8.
It's one of those moments where you find the first bit of success and you feel lured into the rest of it.
It's also like, it's much easier to say they should retake when you can see the minimap.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really, really good shot. Lekro opening up the round and also securing that bomb plant and everything else. 8-11. And that is... Well, that's a huge change for the economy for Vitality.
They did this kind of a buy on Vertigo, or maybe it was NIP. Actually, I think it was NIP who did it, but this is a risk of the economy. They have to have some success here, completely blind, and Apex can only get the one. But, I mean, for a 3-round lead, this is a risky decision to go for the investment.
It is. Tremendously cool setup with the HE, and then he was flashed with the smoke out there, and they were really blind, so we could have easily had a double kill. And you're right, it is a risk, and it did kind of backfire on them.
Well, they can still win this, right? It's just, if they don't, that's going to allow NIP to close the gap pretty quickly. But NIP, now that you see the buy, now that you see they have utility, some armor, some upgraded pistols, you are much more cautious on this T side. And they're about to lose control of lobby. 3 players have just cleared it out. The question is, can they rotate down to the lower bomb site quick enough to stop this attack, to stop this hit?
Forward smoke, at least now Lekro knows that someone is in lobby and they're sort of trying to keep them good. But all they're doing right now is keeping Lekro back. So they want to go for, do they want to go right now?
I think they want that smoke to convince them to go lower. To say, oh, we don't have control of lobby. We can't really hit the upper bomb site. Let's go lower. And that's where the stack is coming in. One player in the site. Now, it's not panning out exactly as they would like because NIP gonna outcall him here. Just gonna move so smoothly. Up the vents, rotate around. Lekro's gonna retake control of lobby all on his lonesome, but Mini was a huge gap in the risk, or in the gambled defense.
Yeah, what a smart play from NIP. That's actually really well done. I think you are exactly right. They were hoping that one forward smoke would force them down, and NIP thinking, you know what, this feels too awkward. So that's a very, very hard call to make when you don't have the all the luxury, the information that we have on that minimap. Well done. Gets them the round, obviously. Sharks is going to be making it out with the M4. No one is going to be able to take that away from him at the moment. But still, 11-9 is going to be the scoreline. And
how much they want to hunt. Lewis has to be careful. Zaiwu is going to try and find a rifle. I think he does have a teammate, Alex, waiting to peek out as well from underneath the ladder, but Zaiwu's in so much pressure at the moment. Alex isn't helping him out whatsoever. It's all Zaiwu, and he's got the headshot. Can he recover the gun? He's going to make a run for it on top of Silo. Plopsky's going to put an end to it. A nice attempt for Zaiwu, though.
Doing the best that he can, yeah. It all matters in the end, right? Even just a single rifle like that being lost could have a pretty big impact. And for Vitality, again, because they forced up in that round, it's not like this is a round they can really buy in. They have the M4 on Shocks, and that's more or less it. Investing a little bit into a couple of grenades and some pistols, but otherwise they're going to try and keep it cool. So a really good chance now for the Swedes to start to swing back into the game, almost equalize the scoreline. They're going to be blowing open the squeak door and running right through. So a bit of a power move here, and there's just nothing to defend with on the other side. Even Zaiwu getting a chance to take a swing at Nuke. So you go first with that little P250. You get one chance.
Yeah, Apex was, Zaiwu was hoping that, you know, RPK's death would give him the chance. And he, fair play, he did have one. Just gets shot down quick. So 10th round for NIP, they've hit double digits and still just one round back. This map remaining close all the way down the stretch. And here you want these pistols. You have Alex and you've got Apex just waiting for the evacuation out towards T-spawn, out of lobby. Smoke is going to neutralize one, not the second. Alex just wants a rifle.
Ooh, a lot of damage.
The bomb's going to explode as well. These guys have to get further away. Rez is in some trouble now, but I think he'll have just made it.
Yeah, that is really close, you're right. But they steal under their M4. That's laying the groundwork for a bit of a turnaround here for Vitality. They can now buy in this upcoming round, and that's great news. But those two rifles on Shocks and Apex, again, that's economy that could be used down the road as well. So we'll see how that plays out. Don't want to underestimate just having a little bit of an impact in some of these rounds. Pretty good swing.
Yeah, pretty good reaction to come right back to the top of Hut. 11-10. Again, no AWP for the defense or the offense as well. We saw Alex using it on the T side. And Plopsky's going to be aggressive around the edge of the smoke. He's going to be the point man on this play for Yard from NIP. Twist, Knock, and Rez going to follow up behind him.
Smoke, yeah. Gonna need a second one for that to make any sense. Looks like there's a gap. People do underhand throw that sometimes too far. Alex playing on top, and oh, he heard the signal from his teammate shooting, and he wanted to try and chime in, but doesn't really get much out of it. Oh, and he was jumping. I don't know, I want to see that from Twist's point of view. How did he, I mean, he must have had the top of the head showing. That is so quick.
Well, this is where you get to see the reaction in the defense. How do they close this gap? We touched on this in the first half. It is so difficult to control Heaven when you've lost control of Yard this early. Shocks has left ramp room
he's
to cover this up.
They're right behind him. Surely he's yeah, there we go. Turning around Plopsky, but they were right on top of him. That's crazy. I can't believe he could have even been caught, I think, going up the stairs. The ladder the first time around. Alex with a little bit of a double spray, taking down Plopsky and Twist, and back in a 2-1-3 with 35 seconds. Big chance here for Vitality to make this work, and if they can, suddenly they could put a little bit of a pause on NIP. Alex sneaking in, he knows the bomb is planted down here, and just going to use the element of surprise. No chance there for Nuke, and that leaves Rez in a pretty untenable position. 1 versus 3. Sneaking down. Again, the bomb is planted, not even really in a great position for him, and if they find out where he is, they have a smoke. They're going to be smoking the bomb instead, so now, how does he get this done?
He doesn't.
They're on him. They actually did not have a kit picked up, so could have been real awkward.
We got to see the double kill from Alex and the kill onto Shocks over towards Heaven, but one other critical kill that came out in this round was RPK. You know, as we talked about that Heaven thing in the first half, the response that we talked for the CT side for the defense was getting out of the bomb site, pushing into Hut, pushing into Squeaky Door. That's exactly what RPK does. As soon as Shocks goes down, he pushes into Hut, gets the one kill in lobby, which is typically just a lurker who's there to maintain control and watch the flank.
Yeah.
Once that kill happens, they can both spin. And that's where NIP has to really adjust and go to that lower bomb site, because they realize they don't have the entrance anymore going up the ladder. They don't have the entrance into that upper bomb site because, you know, it's only 1 point of attack now. You know, that angle is taken away from them. 12-10.
Such a, again, such a close match that we've got going on here. Yeah, this is Twist. All right, he's actually not even covered that much by the smoke. To me, it looked like he was almost inside of the smoke, but he had a nice gap. And that allowed him to get that done. But in spite of the fact, you know, they still can't do it. Timing is so awkward for Twist jumping across that.
It's that second player underneath Heaven. They killed Shocks, and they probably thought it was all clear.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal. Nice positioning from Alex to confuse the attack. 2-round lead.
Really deep smoke, I think, all the way towards Hell. Thrown from T-spawn, more or less, and they're going to be quick out the yard. Yeah, you see that smoke deep, just covering any kind of an AWP out there that might have been. Apex goes down, and Plopsky with the opening.
Listen, ZywOo's going to get another chance here. 4 players coming at him. He's got the AWP. Oh, and they backed off. We've seen some tough rounds with the AWP for ZywOo. That might have been one where he could recover it nicely. Alex going to see how many he can get. He's going to tap 2 down. The spray for a 3rd, and add 1 more on top. Plopsky goes down. Alex holds the line, and Vitality's going to creep up to 13 rounds.
That was beautiful. That, again, people underestimate how much patience and willpower it takes to not take that first guy out. You just want to do it. Especially in these high-level games where so much is on the line. To have the patience to wait, it's definitely not easy.
That's the 2nd round in a row now that Alex has just creeped into a defensive position when, like, one of his teammates was killed in that area. That makes you think, you know, that was the defender that we have to worry about. That was the outside guy. Apex goes down. That was the guy outside. That was the guy mini. We're clear to kind of make this play, and Alex has just gotten into a position that you're just not going to expect entirely. That is pretty brutal.
So well done. 3-round lead. That also depletes the NIP economy, and they're back to pistols. I mean, it looks like maybe they could try and just wait for the initial barrage of grenades to be over, and then, yeah, blow up the door and maybe just go for it. I don't think they're going to have much more of a chance to do anything else. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be quick through the Hut and Squeak Door, and pray that they don't run into anything crazy. Grenade is going to land right on top of Plopsky and Nuke, so that's pretty rough. And yeah, this is already not looking that good for them. Flank is coming out from Alex. He's all the way on the other side and taking down Twist, who actually, he got the grenade off. That was his parting gift, but it didn't really do much inside of the bomb site.
Well, Rez is left in a really difficult spot. 1 versus 3. Entirely boxed in, does not have control of the bomb whatsoever. Surely going to get taken down right about... Oh, my lord. He's made it past. It's not going to matter. He's still going to go down. So 14-10 is the scoreline for Vitality. Well on the way to a nice comfortable 2-0, Anders. Which is weird, because did you say Vitality was going to win this? Or did you say Nip was going to win this?
I said Vitality was going to win.
Oh.
And I think I said it was going to be a close game.
Okay.
Which was
So far, so good?
It was intentionally vague. Close could mean all 3 maps, right? Or it could just mean, you know...
2 close maps?
2 close maps. Trying to keep it vague, so I'm always right. Something like that.
You sneaky, sneaky rat. 4-round lead now for Vitality. NIP have got to get something going. It's been 3 straight for Vitality.
Wow. Grenades. 2 of them landing right on top of Plopsky, who's really been, I think, probably the main engine for NIP at the moment. So to get him shut down without him even having much of a chance to return is amazing. ZywOo getting a kill at the edge of the smoke. They want to try and challenge him, but that could also cost him. He's got some more back out here. A flashbang to make his way down, and still thinking about it. He's so aggressive, actually throwing the Molotov right in the face of Nuke, which unfortunately doesn't do much of anything, but still is a good visual. Nuke now in a 1 versus 4, and he's got the bomb and a knockback back here. Not sure what he could accomplish, if anything.
Wow, they just lost so many players outside just trying to get into this position. This is going to be so, I was going to say tough. Might as well just call it near impossible. 1 versus 4. First step would be finding this last player defending the lower bomb site, but the sound cue is just so brutal. When you're in this 1 versus 4, that door opening just sounds like it's so loud.
Yeah, it's a signal to everyone on the map that, oh yeah, and it doesn't matter if he went any other way. That's an incredible spin. He actually got the kill on Shocks. That's already pretty cool. But they're getting closer, 35 seconds, and he's going to get the flick on RPK, turning for it. Vitality really need to take a deep breath. There's no point in throwing this away. He tries for it, but he's going to get shot in the back, and that's 15 on the board for Vitality. Man, that was a good highlight for Nuke, though.
Yeah, that was a nice little start to that clutch. You see a world in where it's doable when he gets those first 2 kills. I like how he hunted down RPK as well in the door.
I mean, it's also you also get a chance to see right there that in order to win those 1 versus 4, you actually need the help of the enemy team, right? If they'd opened the door, if RPK had busted open and trying to go for the fight, that would have been the gift that he needed to make that work. So.
You need a couple gifts. You need a couple really nice shots. You need some mistakes. 15 to 10. And NIP need to win 5 in a row to force overtime, or else they will lose this their opening series of IEM Katowice.
They will. And what do they got to fight with here? Mac 10s and a Tech 9 on Lekro and an AK-47 on Nuke. It's really not that impressive. Yeah, this grenade setup in the beginning was absolutely devastating.
Called down the airstrike.
They did. The French artillery back once again.
Don't go down that rabbit hole again.
No. Now.
Here we go. Potentially the last round of this series. Oh, it's an upper rush. They're hanging everything on this attack towards the upper bomb site. They're running through flames, through bullets, and it's not going to work. RPK, Alex, and Apex all with the kill each. A 5-on-2, and they have no standing into this bomb site. This is going to be all Vitality. ZywOo even coming through to add 2 more onto it. 16 to 10. That is the close of Nuke, the close of the series, and Vitality will defeat NIP.